Hey guys, welcome to this great episode that we're going to hear. Today I'm going to be introducing a new co-host who I've been I'll put a thing out and I was kind of like, I need some help, and this amazing person reached out and I was kind of like, yeah, we should definitely work together, because after speaking to her on the phone, she was like, she had so many ideas, and I was kind of like, well, yeah, that'll be really, really good. And I thought we could get a first episode together, and that's what this is. I'll introduce you to her at the end, though, because
who is she? Tell me, Al. Who is it?
I'm doing a thing, right? You need to we'll find out who our co-host is. I don't know who that was.
She sounds amazing.
Well, I don't know. Hey, will you stop? I'm trying to do a bit here. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll eat my biscuit. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, you eat your biscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new co-host of the Shrewsbury Biscuit, Victoria Island. Take it away. Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. A very exciting episode. I say that really quite It's a very exciting episode of the Shrewsbury Biscuit because we're going to meet our new co-host today. I put a thing on Facebook a few weeks ago saying that help, because my new job. I keep talking about my new job. I work 4 days on, 4 days off, 4 nights on, and then 4 days off. So it's like I have these 4 days to concentrate my life into, and it can be quite difficult. And so it's hard to organize. So I'm having to be super good with my planning. I'm trying to book in guests now as far as June. I'm working hard at that. We're doing really well. But I thought I could do with a bit of a hand, because it wouldn't be really good if I had someone that we can do the shows together, but I can also send out to do shows. And then somebody reached out to me that has been on the podcast before, that was actually really brilliant behind the microphone. And as soon as she said that she wanted to do it, I thought this would be fantastic. And Victoria Island, thank you so much for putting your name in the hat. And
thank you.
How are you thinking this would be such a good idea?
Thank you so much for having me on. Honestly, I just want to thank you, because it's put a massive smile on my face.
It's a good thing to branch out and do something to keep your mind busy, I think. Podcasting is just so great. It's a verbal journal. It's something that you can work on, and it's not just like the recording. There's the editing aspect, the planning aspect, the meeting new people, pushing yourself, pushing your boundaries. I've interviewed on top of like some really high buildings and stuff, and I hate heights. I've interviewed in rooms full of really like loads of people. Loads of people is just where the line sort of stops me.
Very brave, braver than me.
But it depends where I am, actually, because I was at the Gateway Gallery. We were talking about that before. For Lucy Cadell's Colour Now. I say Lucy Cadell's, there was a good collection of artists there.
Amazing.
And I felt so at home with all these other creators and all these other eccentric weirdos that sort of compliment me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel at home in here then?
Yes. It's fine. I think I don't know what, my social anxiety can just pop up at any time. It doesn't need a reason sometimes. Do you know what? Sometimes it can be like 3 or 4 people in a room. Yeah, I remember I went to, Dungarees and Squeegees at the English Bridge Workshop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was there for their opening of their theatre, and sorry guys, their new space, their new workshop. And there was about 6 or 7 people there, artists that I've interviewed before, Saffron Russell's there, and Joey, and it was just mad, and I just had a panic attack and had to go home. Isn't that weird?
I get it. I totally get it. I can relate big time.
What if we're doing it together as a team?
We'll be all right. We got it.
Yeah, high five. High five. So what I need to do is I want the listeners to learn a bit about you. You're the new co-host of the Shrewsbury Biscuit. So, Shrewsbury born and bred?
Well, no.
No?
I have a confession.
Oh.
I was born in Birmingham. So it probably might come through in the accent a little bit. But I was only there till I was 4. So I class it as I am Shrewsbury.
I'm a Telford lad. I started off in Telford, Wrexham, Telford, Shrewsbury. I came here as someone who just fell in love with a town for the first time,
Absolutely. Same.
It's a great place to sort of bring up a family and to look for business prospects, opportunities around every corner, isn't it?
It's a place like where people go and they boomerang back. It always happens. You see that a lot. Like people leave Shrewsbury perhaps, but they always come back in the end.
Yeah. I wonder what it is. I always say there's something in the 7. I always say that's one of my catchphrases. Listen to me. But no, it's true. You're right. Because there's something special about the Shire, because it's quiet enough to not be the hustle and bustle of the city, but it's still interested enough to have like lots of things going on. Do you know what I mean? So there's great art. The artistic community around here is just blowing my mind at the moment.
And me.
And you're a creative yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's thriving at the moment, isn't it? It's just booming.
Yeah, there's always something to talk about. And I'm getting invited to exhibitions and to shows and to things with the Hive as well. I feel really bad because I got invited to the showcase of the Hive, and I couldn't go. Work related stuff. I'm always falls when I'm working or if I'm just coming off a night shift or something. But like, it's nice to be a part of that. Are these things that you're looking forward to be part of with the Shrewsbury Biscuit? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've just been speaking to the Hive actually, and they're going to take one of my paintings to be put on display there. So I'm really excited about that. They've said they've got space to fit it in an exhibition that they're running at the moment. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, to be involved with anything like that, I just love it. Love it.
I saw a lot of your work during the last year. You've been working really hard with it, haven't you? You've been. Where does that start for you? The artistic drive for you?
I think it's sort of like within us all. I think within us all there is a creator, and it's just tapping into that. I think we've all got a creator within us, and I think that you should have the freedom to express in some kind of artistic and creative way. And I think it can be, well, for me, it was to help my mental health, to be honest. That's what sort of got me back into my artwork, and I wanted to create stuff that was not concise, not sort of restrictive, that was just free and that was fun and that I could just work with colour and paint and explore and express. And it was basically that while I was doing, I was in the moment and I was forgetting and I was just living in the present moment, which gave
hazy bubble.
Oh yeah, it's glorious. It just gave me a lot of calm. So I really think that, you know, when I was doing art at college, for instance, it was like quite, you know, it's got to look how the item looks or something, or sort of like some of the styles that we were going for was like, you know, you've got to draw that glass as it looks sort of thing, you know. Yeah. And I felt a lot of pressure and I was really hard on myself because I was quite a perfectionist. So my style now is totally the opposite to that. Just go crazy.
It's abstract as much as you like. I mean, it is cathartic being a creative any sort. I mean, like, but it also adds like a bit of swagger to you, doesn't it? I mean, like I always talk about, like, I've seen people get shocked because I can kind of nervously walk into a room and quietly set up my stuff. Yeah, we'll set up, we'll sit here and sort of stuff. And I turn the microphone and go, like, hey, completely different person. But that's you when you're painting, right? That's an author when they're typing. That's a musician when they're playing, and a photographer when they're doing their thing. You know?
It's a performance in a sense, isn't it? You put that mask on or that hat on as such, and then you step up your performing game.
Yeah, and it's a great education to get things wrong as well, because then you appreciate when you get it right.
I don't think there's ever anything that you can get wrong either. I think that mistakes, no, it's not such a thing. I think that was it that artist guy that always said happy little accident. I love that.
And I love that. Yeah, that's quite cool.
You're always learning, you're always learning, and it's always a progression. And it's, I think we make more mistakes in life than we get things right. And I think there's something in that it's that we're learning from our mistakes. But they're not mistakes. I'm not sure I'm making sense here, but
no, you are, because I think it's important that we accept those mistakes as like not failure.
That's it. Yeah. Because I'm always telling my children, just do your best and enjoy it. Get something from it.
No, it's my phone. I'm testing it because I'm going.
I'm waving mine.
There's a if you can hear the little crackling, I'm pretty sure I can take it out in post, but like there's a real crackle going on with it. My mix is a right diva. It's like phone. Yeah. So you've always been creative then? Is that something that you've done since you were a kid, or is that later on in life? Or
Yeah, I think sort of my parents realised quite early on that I was just quite creative, and they sort of encouraged that really. So I was always doing something, drawing, painting, acting, singing, dancing, playing the violin with piano. Yeah, just sort of any creative outlet.
So you got
really.
musical talents as well. We'll just note that down.
I wouldn't say it's a great one, but you know, I enjoy it.
I am going to take notes though, because I thought I was well, do you know what? I'm getting into a habit of taking more notes, I think, because I don't document what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Like sometimes I'll be interviewing someone who I've been dying to interview, and I'll take like 3 photos, one that's blurry, one that's a bit off, and the one I have to use because it's the only one. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I need to get into the habit of being, not just being in the moment, but like documenting it and stuff, you know?
Yeah, you're so good at all this, honestly. I'm in awe.
Oh well, you know, I've had my moments of we're not going to say failure.
No,
but
yeah.
But
A happy accident?
happy accidents. I was thinking earlier about Ralph Garman, actually. I don't know what I was thinking about education, Hollywood Babylon. So my journey, I mean, we're going to talk about this with Sean Brennan Todd in a couple of weeks.
I can't wait for that.
You guys are going to grill me.
I'm so looking forward to that.
But one of my ins to podcast was going from working at Asda with like a couple hundred colleagues to like working in an office by myself. Hear that? Mm-hmm. That silence is deafening, especially on a podcast, right? But no, and somebody was like, my friend at the time, we were having a few whiskeys, and he was like, you should try listening to podcasts and stuff like. And it really changed my life. It really did, just having that thing in the background. But I started listening to a lot of Kevin Smith's podcasts, who's one of my heroes, which we're going to get into later, because I've asked you guys, the listeners, and I've asked Vic some question as well. But like, their podcast was great, and Ralph Garman and him did a show called Hollywood Babylon. Now, Ralph Garman is a guy that he does. So, like, you got Seth MacFarlane, and you got Seth Green, and a few other people that do the main voices for Family Guy. And if there's any other voices, Ralph Garman would do those voices. Mm. He was also on a radio show called K-Rock in America, which is one of the biggest in the country. And he got fired, dramatically got fired from the show because they were cutting back, and so he was without a job. And so he started the Ralph Report. He's on one of the biggest podcasts at the time. He's on Family Guy. He's on the radio. He walks into a Patreon with 10,000 odd fans, and he says, well, $5 a month, you can listen to my show every single day. And like 10,000 people or so go, okay. I mean, how amazing is that?
Mad.
But I was thinking about how that failure, that kind of that change for him brought on something really, really cool.
This is it, yeah. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Great things happen.
Yeah. Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I love them. Yeah, I'm obsessed a little bit.
What do you like to listen to? Is there any that?
I'm at the moment. I'm listening to a lot of like sort of personal development stuff at the moment. That's sort of my go-to at the minute, and I sort of do it when I'm out on my walk with the dog. When I'm in bed of an evening. I just love it. It's
sort of like how to. I mean, there's a lot of focus on being in the present and stuff, isn't there? The podcast. I've heard that an awful lot. I like weird people and eccentric, odd people. Like Rick Glassman is one of my favorite people. Take Your Shoes Off podcast. I recommend that to anybody, especially if you're on the spectrum. Like, he's autistic and he's odd. Fantastic. In his own right, in his own beautiful way, stand-up comedian. He has like an outside blanket and an inside blanket and things. So if you come from the outside, you sit on the outside blanket, and you put your cups and your things on the outside tray. Like, he's very particular. And if someone's talking about something, he'll put them in their place, because that's kind of like how he is. But he's really funny as well.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll have to listen to that.
And Bad Friends is one of my favorite shows. That's one of my shows, because like Hollywood Babylon doesn't really happen anymore. It's one of my feel good podcasts. It's a bit rude though, very rude. In fact, it's got Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino on it, and they give each other crap. They're called bad friends because they're just guys that give each other crap. And the production team as well. They're all giving each other just grief throughout the show. It's brilliant.
So at least I can walk along with the dog with my headphones on, be laughing out loud, and my kids aren't hearing anything rude, and people are just looking at me wondering what is going on.
I have breakfast at Tiffany's moments in like house coffee when I'm editing things in my headphones. Like usually I wear buds and I'm editing, and so if someone says something funny, I just laugh out loud randomly to myself. I'm sat on the table with myself. People look at me like, "What's this weirdo?" So you enjoy podcasts when you're walking the dog, things like that, yeah?
Yeah. I'm sort of listening about gut bacteria. That's a good one at the moment.
There is a podcast for everything, though, isn't there?
Literally is. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of like listen to a more varied amount of stuff. So yeah, I'm trying anything new.
I'm itching to get into some more R-rated adult stuff. I really am, because I miss that. Like the old Thorskin You Suck days, like when used to rock up with Moose Cooper or Tom Bruno and David Raby up in California, and we just get up to all sorts of bad stuff, but brilliant stuff that people used to listen to. So yeah, I do miss that. Maybe that's something that we can work on. What are you hoping to get out of this? What do you what do you think you're going to enjoy the most out of being part of the Biscuit?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things, just absolutely all of it, to be honest. Obviously, very proud Salopian, celebrating everything Shrewsbury, Shrewsbury people, Shrewsbury businesses, Shrewsbury art scene, just absolutely everything Shrewsbury. And exploring that, being able to attend the events, meet and interact with the people, hear their stories.
In fact, you've challenged me to be a bit more edgy, and I like that. challenge people a bit more and be a bit more. I wouldn't say controversial, but like there's lots of like hot topics in Shrewsbury at the moment that I try to be positive, because I feel like there's lots of negativity. There's lots of negativity in the news at the moment. So I like to give people some sort of dopamine for listening, but I feel like we're turning a tide now. Like you're right. We need to start having those difficult discussions, don't we? Yeah,
and I think that it's okay to have those difficult discussions, because again, talking about the nitty gritty stuff, some amazing things can come from that, I'm sure. You know, and a lot of positivity.
Well, I mean, we met doing a podcast about the river. I mean, and those difficult conversations have to happen so that those positive changes can come. You know, it's important. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, a challenge to you, the listeners. I mean, especially if you're tuning in for the first time, it's your first time listening to the show. If there are any sort of hot topics you would like us to discuss, or if you're listening, you're part of these things, then please come on the podcast. I mean, I want to. If you're at the council, or if you're a planning developer, or you're someone that's involved with something that's going on, like with the riverside, with housing developments that's going around with the river, with this the Northwest Relief Road, like that's a hot topic. Like, and I don't think you can be right or wrong about that at the moment, because it's kind of like, well, the traffic is bad in Shrewsbury, but what about the environment? Yeah, well, maybe we need to look at the environment too, but what about the traffic? And it's like, you don't know where to sit with it. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
Yeah. And also, there's lots of events as well we're going to be going to as well. There's 3 I can think of at the moment. The UK Proms, Pete Metcalf is coming on the show again. We've been there for the last 2 years. 2 years. It's an amazing event where we get to speak to great musicians, and it's such a British event. It really is like a British event. Like, and I can't wait. I really can't wait, because from what Pete told me, I can't divulge anything. It's gonna be big this year.
Wow.
Loop Fest. I can't talk about that either. That nearly fell out my mouth. The thing to talk about. Exciting developments for that as well.
Wow. I'm so excited. My feet are dancing like Michael Flatley on the table. I'm doing like an Irish dance here.
But what I love about this is, like, if we can get another H6 or another microphone, I can go one side of town, you can go to the other. If my plans do go into fruition, I could have a field reporter and a studio set up.
Amazing.
That would be brilliant.
Awesome.
Hi, it's Vicks, and I'm at the Loopy Shrew.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, and I'm with Cosmic Rays. Hi, Shane Chebsey. Tell us what it's like. Is that Charlie Adlard? Yeah. It'd be really, really good. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then there's Comic-Con as well. Shrewsbury Comic-Con, an event that's grown and grown and grown. We're going to have...
Do we get to dress up for that one?
Yeah, you can do.
Yes.
I remember the first Comic-Con I went to, MCM. I was chatting to some guy about his Jason Todd costume because I love Jason Todd and I'm Batman crazy. And he had a proper authentic, the red mask and everything. I was like, that's really good. How long did it take you to make that and everything? And he followed me into the press room and I thought he was being a bit odd. And I was like, what? And he took his helmet off and we started interviewing stars from Game of Thrones and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. So he's going around doing this cosplay and he's also, he's part of the press as well.
That's
so yeah.
Can you just say, I'm Batman for me?
I'm Batman.
Oh, very good.
I love that. I love that. I did voice Batman once. I did. Ant McGinley created, it was for his brother, an animator and an animation, and he asked me to voice Batman for him. It was really good. I was like, you want me to be Batman?
That is too cool.
Okay. I do want to get into more voice acting. I find myself just walking around the house, just having strange conversations to myself, and different. my wife's just kind of like, it's bedtime, Alex. Come on now, take your tablets, go to bed.
You don't say I'm Batman, do you? I won't get it.
That's probably the most sane thing I say walking around the house. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do in a minute, I am going to listeners to my content will know what it is, but. I was going to create an audio sort of, but imagine suspense. Hold on, there might be something here actually. Let me have a look.
It's like a colourful disco, that board.
Oh, that's a great.
Looks like a Starship Enterprise board.
There it is.
Going to like warp speed.
There is somewhere. Oh, there it is. Let's see if this works. We are going to play. The Gauntlet. Again, I've ruined the whole thing. Now we're going to play the Gauntlet. This is a test of somebody's skills behind a microphone, and I've done this with pretty much everybody that's come in to work with me as a co-host, both on You Suck, Thorskin. I did it with Tom Bruno. Everybody that's come through the biscuit. In fact, it became such a thing now. People will come into my podcast and asking for a gauntlet. So they'd be like, I want you to do the gauntlet with me, Alex. It's just such a cool thing. So the first one is I'm going to give you an inanimate object to talk about. We'll do it for a minute. I need a stopwatch.
Do I turn my stopwatch on my phone?
Yeah, do it on yours.
Okay.
For now. And then on the other one, I'll time it. God.
So you want just a minute?
Just a minute. I'm going to give you an object to talk about, and you can't stop talking about it for a minute, okay?
So you're going to show me the object?
I'm going to show you an object, and you have to talk about it for a minute non-stop, okay?
Am I allowed to mention the object?
You can talk about it. You can go into detail about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but the task is you can't stop talking about it, okay?
Right, okay. Here we go.
So you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and go. So there you go. There's your object.
It's a hammer. Hammer time. I
didn't think of going there.
It's Timmy Mallet. Timmy Mallet could be a soft version. Whack 'em on the head. Blah, to the audience. Blah, to each other. Use it for DIY. I'm not very good at DIY. I need a handyman. Need somebody in for that. You can put pictures up with it though. I do well with that, as you can see around the room. You can use the other side of it to pull things out with. I've used them for random things, but we won't go there. It's got a wooden handle. It's obviously been carved. Somebody amazing is very good at carving. This is a real struggle. 15 seconds in. It's shiny. I'm shiny. If you watch any of the Disney films, what else could I say? It's yes. Okay, time up. Thank God.
Oh, brilliant! I was like, this is. But towards the end, it gets quite painful, right?
Very painful. That was painful for everyone. Sorry.
But no. That's really good. That's fine. The idea, I think, one of the things I learned is that if you have time to spare or time to fill, should I say, talking about something, take your time.
Okay, yeah. I felt very pressured then. I was like, my mouth was going at 100 miles an hour.
What I tend to do is I go, there was a murder in 1932. And it went unsolved for 30 years.
That's brilliant.
And in 1962, they found this, the weapon that was killed. Just be a bit silly.
Like a scene from Cluedo, the game or something.
Yeah, it was Mrs. Jones with the hammer in the library. Okay, right, that's cool. You did all right, I think. Not everybody can do that, and you did. You went with MC Hammer from the get go, and I was like, that's an amazing pull. And then Timmy Mallet, that was even more random. I mean, everybody just went, I'm old. Timmy Mallet, I love that. Okay, cool. So Timmy Mallet, the hammer. Right, now, my wife has sent you 10 pictures.
Yes, she has.
I'm going to set my stopwatch now. I'm going to set it for, how many should we do? I'll set it for 1.5 minutes. And
How many of these we can get right?
There's a timer for it. And I want you to explain to me what these objects are without actually saying what they are. And I've got to guess what they are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So describe the object. I have to guess, see how many we can get done out of 10 in 1.5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
Any marks? Get set. Go.
Okay. They're big and they're made of like solid. Am I allowed to say the word rock? I don't know.
Stonehenge.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh.
Thank you. It's silver, it's metal, you eat with it, it's spiky.
Fork.
Yay. It's a new film out and it's got a rah is the main
Godzilla.
character. No, it's rah. It's furry. It's the scariest creature on the earth that can chase things.
Donald Trump.
Things. It's Ginger.
Lion King.
Yeah, the other one.
Mufasa.
Yes, well done. It's something that we used to listen to music on. We probably
cassette.
Yes, thank God. It's a funny cartoony thing. It's like a sponge man and his mate.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
But it's his mate and
Patrick.
Yes.
Yes.
You make coffee in it. A bit posh.
Cafetiere.
This you used to store stuff on the computer, and kids don't
Floppy
know what
disk.
they are. Yes, I think it is that one. Yeah.
Square one, yeah.
Yeah, square one, yeah. And then there's the cat and the thing that chase things in the
Tom and
cartoon.
Jerry.
Yay, you're really good at this. There's a celebrity. She's female. She's a singer. She's really gorgeous.
Kira.
No, she's got long dark hair. What was it? I can't think of her music. What she sings now, and I've got to know her music as well.
Oops, there we go. Who was the last one? Oh, Rihanna. How many did I get?
You got. You did really well actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We got 8, and they were brilliant descriptions as well. I went with Shakira because it was Kaz that sent them. I was like, but she sent Shakira because she loved, obsessed with Shakira, obviously being Colombian.
Cool.
That was really good. We got 8 out of 10. That's really good. How did you find that?
Quite stressful, but fun, exciting.
It is good. It's fun.
Yeah, great fun.
Now we need to switch back to your stopwatch again because I'm going to ask you 50 random questions. Now listen, right? I usually use a random question generator, but I found out that if you just type with AI now, if you just type into 50 random questions on Google, it will give you 50 random questions.
Amazing.
So if any of these questions are difficult or you don't want to answer them, you can just pass them. But in 2 minutes, set a timer for 2 minutes. I want you to answer as many. This is how the listeners are going to find out about you. 2 minutes, answer as many as you can get, all right?
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Go.
And so what's your favourite memory from childhood?
I think Christmas. That sounds really like commercials, isn't it?
No, I
Awful.
love that.
That's a terrible answer. Okay, go on.
What's your favourite thing to do when it's rainy?
Stick my tongue out.
Taste the rain. What's your favourite season and why?
My favourite season is spring. It should be springtime all year round because it's just the perfect temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. There's pretty things about the sun shining, flowers.
I like that. Lambs in here, yeah. And what's your favourite thing to eat?
I think if I had a last supper, it'd have to be a nice steak.
Steak, nice. What's your favourite thing about your best friend?
Oh my word. There's loads of things: caring, loyal, reliable, funny, loving. Could go on and on and on.
Nice.
Intelligent.
What's your favourite thing that you've done for your significant other?
I guess my children might be my significant others. Favourite thing I've done for them. Oh gosh.
Take him to football in the pouring rain.
Yes, I think that should count, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Giving them life.
What's your favourite thing that you've ever tried but never had the courage to do?
Oh,
No, that you've ever tried that you never had the courage to do.
perhaps a skydive. I'd be terrified. I'd probably die doing it, have a heart attack. But
What's your favourite thing you've ever eaten?
the favourite thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, probably a really good steak.
we're going with steak. What's your favourite thing you've ever learned about in school? Tell these are AI. The way they're put, like
Yeah. I love school and everything. I just love learning. Never stops.
What's your favourite thing you've ever received as a gift?
I think gift of time, isn't it? Time with people, special moments, making memories.
And world peace, Oliver. What's your favourite thing you've ever watched on TV or a movie?
Timer.
These are really what is your favourite? They're definitely written by a robot. I love that. I had to. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10.
Yay!
Well done.
Fabulous.
That's really good. AI. I definitely have to write them out myself again. I used to have PowerPoint and everything going with that, but that was really good. Well done. You completed the.
Thank you. Even my dog was impressed. She's woofing.
The gauntlet.
That's really good.
The reason I messed it up last time is because I set the button up to whole person hold. It's all right. Dogs are allowed on the biscuit. I was going to set a microphone for the dog because
Heidi would love that.
maybe she can hear the music. Can you hear the music? Yeah. Can you hear our microphones? Speaking of AI, what are your thoughts on AI? Obviously, there's lots of good things and bad things about it at the moment, especially when it comes to school and artists and stuff. What are your thoughts on it?
Bit of mixed one, yeah. I think mixed one really. I think it's amazing in some regards, and it has its purpose and its place. But I think at the same way, I think I can understand why people feel threatened by it because it's taken away perhaps a little bit of our humanity or sort of human sort of input and our place and our role. We might feel we're being taken over by robots, but I think it's good in
some of the images. I think it's catching out a few. I was going to say dummies then. What's the correct way to put this? They're putting things on Facebook and they're catching people out. They're putting trams going through London with 3-deckers and people walking around with 6 fingers on each hand, and people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. And they're really playing with people. They're really testing people's knowledge about things. And it's yes, we can use AI to learn about amazing things, and it can help you when in the medical field. I think it's really good for organisation. I use it a little bit for the grammar and stuff with writing. I think I explained to you sometimes I'll drop it into AI just to make sure, just to tidy things up, because I've mentioned a few times that my phone lets me down so much. I think it does it on purpose. It'll drop the odd full stop in there, or it'll change a word around and stuff and make me look stupid. But yeah, when it comes to them trying to mess with history and things like that,
I think there should be a thing where you have to explain you've used AI, or there should be a notice or a little bit of a watermark as such to say this was created by AI or AI was used, because it's I was looking at an image, a few images of these amazing birds, and I thought it was photographer had taken it, and that it was a bit like a David Attenborough type thing, and that they got these really close shots of birds nesting and stuff, and these birds weren't real birds, they were AI, and it had fooled a lot of people. But that's quite misleading, I think, and I think they should say if they're using AI or not.
Yeah, like a wet mark, watermark, wet mark on your AI. And I did hold my hands up when I started doing season alpha. When I was doing that, I did use AI for music because I was so desperate. I was kind of like, oh my God, I need some music. I haven't got any music, and I used this crappy beatbox thing I found on the internet. It was terrible. If you go back to any episode of season alpha and listen to that music, it's terrible. So then I was like, well, maybe I can reach out to local bands, and I did. People, Josh Lobley supplies the music now for the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and it's beautiful. Fab. It really is beautiful. Make sure if you see the Shirish Rovers or Josh playing locally, go and see them because they're wonderful, really good at what they do. Right, I asked you, and I asked I didn't ask the listeners. I put it on Facebook. I have a thing of overthinking. Let me show you the first way I asked for this. I left it on my Facebook because I thought it'd be a great talking point. Right. The second way I put it was great. Who would be your four dream podcast guests and why? Pick anyone alive. That's just like a generic thing. The way I beat around the bush sometimes on social. I've got 24 hours to get these. I appreciate your support. You have 4 empty seats and a podcast to plan. You can invite anyone alive. Who are you having to your podcast and why? People are like, are you after guests for the podcast? I was like, I wanted to know which 4 guests you'd invite to your podcast. What we'll do is we'll speak about yours first because I went around the whole family as well. So who would you invite and why?
I love this. I think this is a great game. I think I'm going to carry on playing this. And like, if I have people over for a meal or something, I'm going to do it with everyone. Or if I go on a date, I'm going to do it on a date. I'm just going to use this everywhere. Right. Okay. Sorry about that.
You can learn a lot about who people will have on the podcast. To be
fair. So one, I'd have Brian Cox. Do you know who he is? Testing you now.
He's on my list.
Is he? Yeah.
He's on my list. Professor Brian Cox, yeah. The guy can explain the inner workings of a universe with a stick in a bucket, yeah.
He's amazing. And he's always so happy and smiling. He just talks with a smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also he's in the best band, Testing you now. Do you know which band he was in?
It's not the Dire Straits, no.
D-Ream.
D-Ream, yeah. That's a Dire Straits, that's not even close.
Things can only get better.
Things can only get, I remember that, yeah. So yeah, a brilliant one because you'd learn an awful lot, and I think like any conversation you'd have with Brian Cox would just be you could talk about anything, and he'd just be willing to just chat. Because also, I used to listen to Infinite Monkey Cage, which was a radio show at Radio 4, but I listened to the podcast, and it was like serious scientists with like comedians and stuff, and they talk about science, and you'd have to put them in their place, be like, wow, hold on there a second. So he'd tell you as it is as well.
Wow, yeah. I just think that like there's deep and meaningful conversations about the universe and the world, and it just blows your mind, doesn't it? And it's just like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brian Cox is your first one. That's a good choice.
Then I'd have Michael McIntyre because, you need a good laugh at a dinner party.
I think, yeah. When you look at like comedians and you think, would they be that funny in real life? I think he would be. I think he's just...
I think he's quite funny and naturally witty, and I just like his sense of humour. I think he's quite a family sort of like... He's like a family guy, kind of like having around, but he's got a good laugh. And I like the games that he plays. So I'd be like, well, we'll play your games. We'll do the send to all. You can do it on me. And or we'll do that. Do you remember me? And we'll get like people coming up to the door and they'll walk in and be like, oh, it's my old teacher from school, Mr. Minton. Or like, or something. Shout out to Mr. Minton if you're listening.
What, Mr. Minton?
Change my life. It's amazing. But like, yeah, you could play all these games, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I think he's just funny.
I think it's a great idea. I mean... There was one of my biggest disappointments. I love Lee Evans growing up. He was one of my favorite comedians.
He's brilliant.
But he's like really quiet and really sort of keeps himself to himself.
In real life sort of thing?
In real life, yeah. Wow, so like
the opposite.
Like Lee Evans on stage and on TV is like a character. Do you know what I mean? Which I think is why he's kind of retired, because it must be hard to keep up that persona.
Yeah. Didn't think of that actually. Yeah, maybe he might be like that. Might be quieter. Yeah.
Either way, we'll get him on the podcast and find out.
And then another one would be J.K. Rowling, because I just think like she's amazing, and the fact that she gives me hope a little bit because I'm still trying to like become an established writer, and it's like she had so many rejections, but she's so incredible. So it's like, and she was a single parent, so I'm like, she's like my alter ego.
I like that for those reasons. Great, yeah, absolutely.
And she also wrote under the name of Robert Galbraith, so she was like, that was her pseudonym, and she created these crime novels, which I love all that kind of stuff. Like they're round as 2 private investigators. We could be like that, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could go solve crimes together.
Yeah.
Alan Vicks to save the crime. So that'd be great. That'd be night is like a 70s cop drama or sliding over bonnets, like
or like Life on Mars. Like
great show. Yeah, that's what we can do.
doing it.
Yeah.
And then the other one is this random lady. Well, she's not a random lady. She's amazing. She does lots of amazing things, and that's why I'd want her. But her name's Rachel Williams, but you might not have heard of her. But she wrote a book about her own personal life experience with domestic abuse. Her her husband that she left after 18 years shot her. She almost died. And she recovered and survived, and she's been a representative for SUTDA, which is Stand Up to Domestic Abuse, and she runs Facebook groups. She does lots of meetings and raises loads of awareness and stuff. She's just really inspirational. And when I read her book, I was just like, wow.
I imagine there'd be an amazing podcast in that. Yeah. Absolutely great choice.
Yeah. So that's my 4.
Was that 4? Oh yeah, of course it was. Yeah, I can't count. Right, I'm going to go through mine, and then the families, and then I'll go through what we got on Facebook. There were great choices, by the way, because I feel like you can't just choose like Brad Pitt and Angelina. You got to get conversation out of these people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
it is hard though as well, because I wanted a load of dead people. I just had so many people that I was just thinking of amazing people. I was like, oh no.
It takes away a whole layer of like those dream like interactions you'd have with people when you say they've got to be alive. I'll go with Timmy's first, because I won't have to have much of an explanation. I'll explain mine. Timmy kind of just went on this rampage. He's like, I want Mr. Beast because he's the richest YouTuber.
Amazing.
Simon Cowell because he likes him. I was like, okay.
I love Timmy. They're brilliant.
Chris Hemsworth ask him about 4, and I was like, okay, there's a real innocent 10-year-old wanting to speak to a superhero there. It's not Chris Hemsworth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Luis Diaz, because it's Luis Diaz. He loves Liverpool. LeBron James. And then Dynamite from Gladiators. We were watching Gladiators, and she was on the screen. He went, Dynamite from Gladiators. I was like, why? He was like, because she's great. And I was like, okay. You can imagine how that conversation went, right? Yeah. My wife, she chose Shakira because she's incredible and hardworking with an amazing voice, and also Colombian. There's a strong like South American vibe.
Shakira's amazing.
Yeah. She wrote Michael Jordan because of his life.
Good choice.
She wrote Prince Harry because she wrote a good conversation with him about things that have happened. And David Beckham because, of course.
Oh, yes.
I might have to add a bit of bass onto his voice though. Right, so my choices were Kevin Smith. I've met him before. Very close to getting him on this podcast. I've spoke to everyone around him but him. It's incredible. But he helped me in such an amazing way just by being his authentic self, right? And that's like, I think that's really, really important. Like, at the time he was a stoner, he'd swear, he'd be like, I made Clerks and Mallrats and these stupid films, and like he would just be so authentic, and I thought that was really good. And of course what he did with the podcasting, great. Yeah. Professor Brian Cox is there, look. Because I think anybody that can do what he does in such a simple way would offer so much in such a short space of time. We could talk about so much. I'd ask him how to, any sort of, in any conversation, anywhere in the world, how to disprove flat earthers, because there's obviously a way. Do you know what I mean? Because the flat earth thing is utterly ridiculous. Like, oh God. There was a documentary about some guys that they proved the round was earth by trying to prove it was flat. They got these really large like pieces of wood, I think they were, with holes in, and they were going to put them in a straight line for a mile and show that, and then they shine a light for it, so they show that it's flat, and it showed. So they actually disproved their own theories. Greg Davis, I think I've got to have, like, I've tried twice to get him on the podcast now. He's one of Shropshire's most famous people at the moment. He's definitely a British A-lister, I'd say. Yeah. So Greg Davis would be great. Twice his agent's gone, I don't think that'll be something he'd be. He's busy. He's a busy guy. You know what I mean? But he's apparently in Wem every Sunday. So if anybody connected to Greg Davis is listening to this, I
might be in Wem on Sunday. Let's just go there.
Yeah, I go around in TK Maxx. Yeah. See who's there with his mum. So Greg, anybody connected to Greg, get him on my podcast. I just want to say hello. That's all. And I got stuck. I was kind of like, there's last one. I can only choose one. So I was stuck on Dave Grohl, Simon Pegg, Mark Hamill, or Seth MacFarlane. Those group, because I think Seth MacFarlane did such an amazing thing with Family Guy, because he got cancelled after its like second season, and then he doubled down. and we create this amazing team of voice actors and artists, and got the John Williams band to do a cartoon like that's unheard of. Brilliant.
Incredible.
Mark Hamill. It's just always been amazing to talk. I've listened to so many great podcasts about him. Simon Pegg is just brilliant. Everything he does, again, just simple humor. Dave Grohl, one of the hardest working men in music. Like, I think he must have some amazing stories to tell.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That'd be mega.
That's mine.
Really good.
Right. Now on to you reprobates. Because I said, right. My wife put hers there as well. I'll put my... Yeah, okay. So Devon Rains Maddox put Kev Smith, Jim Cornette. I don't know who Jim Cornette is.
No, I'm not sure.
Tickle from the Moonshiners. And Mike Epps. That's so random. Mike Epps is great. I don't know who Tickle from the Moonshiners is.
I'd like to know.
If anybody knows who Tickle from the Moonshiners is, please write to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. And Jim Cornette. Thank you, though, Devon, for that. Joshua Brimmel. These are all my American friends. Put Will Sasso. Don't know who that is. Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien is. Ralph Garman. He's been on my podcast. He's a great guy. Andy Dick. Andy Dick. Didn't he just die? No. Did he die? Andy Dick. I don't know. Gary Drew. This is hilarious. Wait. He put anyone from the help desk at BT to sort out my internet. Someone from Welsh Water about my refund due to the pipe burst and no water for 5 days. Drake Ford and about the stupid 20-mile-per-hour limits in Wales. And the drunk guy that's just come into the hotel because he sounds like fun. I love you, Gary. Keep sending in these silly things. You sent one in last week as well, which is brilliant. I'll just keep coming, Gary.
I just thought of a really good one, and I'm sorry, I should have put this down.
Yeah?
I might change one of mine. What about Banksy? Because then we'd know finally who he is.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
We could be like, yeah, because we could be like, but even no, like you could just send him in with a bag on his head. Yeah. Be a bit morbid, but we'd be like, God talks, and then he could like put on a fake Cockney accent, like, you know what I mean?
Like the mask singer be like, take it, take it.
And then we find out it's actually Neil Buchanan the whole time.
Yeah.
This is an heart attack. Helen Hinton, she put Billy Connolly.
Oh, awesome. He'd
be a great one. He'd be hard to get a word in edgeways, but I think he'd be brilliant because he's funny and interesting. Francis Rossi, because he has so many great stories to tell. I don't know who Francis Rossi is. Maybe it's a...
No, sorry.
She put Bernard Cornwell. No, I agree with that one. He wrote the Sharp books, and he wrote what's it called? The Last Kingdom on Netflix. He wrote those books as well. I picked up reading again when I was about 18, 19. My dad gave me the Sharp books to read. There's like 22, 23, 24 now with the new ones. I read every single one after the other. Oh my God, they're amazing. So yeah, Bernard Cornwell would be great. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because he's very cool. He played Negan in The Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And he has that voice. Oh, hi, Rick. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
We almost had a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman, a Thomas Wayne Batman, which broke my heart when that didn't happen because they teased that he played Thomas Wayne in. Anyway, yeah.
I'd be scared if he'd come though, because what if he walked in with his big thing, the nails?
Oh, but that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Just to role play that for a little bit. Sue Ainsworth, I think she must have read this wrong because she wrote, I love you, Sue, fantastic, but she wrote Nostradamus, George Orwell, Lady Di, and Michael Jackson. They would be great on a podcast. Well, they're dead, so they can't. I think Lady Di would be amazing. And then Michael Jackson, obviously. But I think with Michael Jackson, you'd find it hard to get like a true fact out of him. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, right, now stop doing the voice. Talk to me properly. Stop messing about, Michael. Tell me about these things, My good friend Lucy Orchard, ex-co-host of the Weekly Bazaar with me, she put Dame Judi Dench.
Oh, wow, yes.
Dame Eileen. I don't know who Dame Eileen is. These are great, but some of them are very, yeah. Dame Professor Sue Black. Dame Jocelyn Bell Bonnell. And she wrote, "We just lost Dame Joan Plowright, so sadly can't pick her. Julie Walters, Dame Lumley, Dame Kelly Holmes, Lucy
There's
Liu."
a theme here, wasn't there? Or the Dame. What about Dame Brad Fitt? She's missed Dame Shrewsbury Dame off the list.
Yeah. Dame Brad Fitt. He's been on the podcast before. We'll get him back on. Lucy Liu should be good. Michelle Yeoh, I'd love to speak to her. She's amazing. And she goes, the list goes on. Sarah Lancashire.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Adam Rees from the TWS podcast. Make sure you give that a check out. And he put Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, Tyson Fury, and Ben Stokes. That's the one that's. I love that. Thank you so much, Adam. That was so random. Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, Tyson Fury, of course, and then Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes actually very influential, but that is funny. Vince Dovey put Mary Beard because she's Mary Beard. David Cameron, because of the Brexit referendum, etc. I think you'd want to quiz him on all that.
Yeah, be good to do that.
Stuart Lee, because why wouldn't you? PJ Harvey. PJ Harvey. Okay. No, I don't.
Is he a rapper, or have I got that wrong?
I'm going to have to Google PJ Harvey in a sec. Liam Tinsley put Hitler, Fritzl, Wayne Gacy and Ian Watkins because Liam Tinsley is a naughty boy. I did side-eye him on Facebook. Kev Millwood said Emma Watson, Scarlett Johansson, Mo Salah, Zara Larson. Yeah, I can understand Emma, Scarlett and Zara, but Mo, why would you want to speak to me? He's not doing anything special. And Hazel Meredith Lloyd put David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Steph McGovern and Miriam Keynes all seem to be decent people who care and want to make the world a better place and do all they can to make it happen. And she added David and Tennant, Michael Sheen, Steph. I don't know where it is. I'd also like Michael to teach me Welsh, David to teach me acting, Steph to help with my finances and teach me presenting, and Miriam to teach me to write a bestseller.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they're your top 4 podcast guests, and we'll try and get as many of them as possible. But we can't promise anything.
That would be so cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But Greg Davis, though, is where I kind of start with that, because I've tried twice and I did get responses off his agent, and they were like, "Yeah, he's very busy. He's a busy boy." So there's got to be one day you can just nip in and chat to me. Do you know what I mean?
Would it seem a bit too stalkerish if we turn up in Wem on the Sunday?
Hi, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Come on the podcast.
I'm trying to get hold of you.
So let's talk. We've got 10 minutes left. Let's talk about these new ideas that we have for the Shrewsbury Biscuit, because we did have a good discussion about things we can do and different content we can change. And I think, we can definitely offer an evolution with the content naturally, because a 3-way conversation is always better than a 2-way, because we can offer different opinions. I can give you some grief and you can give me. It just adds something at an extra depth, but different types of content, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're talking. It's your idea to do debates.
Yeah.
What would we debate in Shrewsbury though? What would we talk about?
There's so much to debate, I think. There's so much and so many things. I sent you a long list over, didn't I? And I was like, and there's more and there's more.
Yes. I think I threw that on Facebook as well. Let me find that. Oh yeah, I'll put a thing about my friend that was found. He was found fine. Biscuit reviews. Here we go. We didn't get many responses. No, that was biscuit reviews. Oh, no, that was my idea about biscuit reviews. Now, my idea of that was, it wasn't us that would do the reviews. It would be the listeners. So if we can organise sending a couple of listeners to a meal at a certain restaurant, and then we bring them on the podcast. And how was your evening? You know?
Yeah.
Show us the pictures. Did you enjoy it? I think that'd be really, really good.
Yeah. Real reviews, talking to the people and getting their opinions and things. And I think that's the thing, is talking about local issues, things that people are happy with.
Mr. President.
Oh. And let's turn my phone down. Where did I put the thing? I also thought about kids. I thought kids are brilliant.
Kids are so honest, which is brilliant.
Yeah, but I thought the Michael Barrymore thing can say the funniest things. You know?
Yeah.
But getting kids to do serious interviews, in a genuine way, not in any sort of creepy, horrible way, but get kids to talk about important topics with important people.
Yeah.
You know, I could set up Timmy or we set up a kid with Julia Buckley and talk about local politics.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be great to get kids involved, like the Shrewsbury kids as well, because it's like, I just think it would be nice to sort of like, there's a lot of talent in Shrewsbury as well, kids with talent and kids that are doing things. Some kids have started their own business already, you know, talking to Shrewsbury kids about that. And they're making a difference to the local community and talking to Shrewsbury kids about that.
I think community is a very, very important thing to talk about kids. Maybe there is something there. Maybe we can get in touch with a school and get some things set up. I think it'd be really good. If there's anything you want to do, I mean, these are genuine things because we did like horses and biscuits and we've done different side projects before. So there's no reason why we can't do like you wanted to do a biscuit on the street, like a biscuit on the streets, like stand there and speak to people about things. I like
the voices of Shrewsbury.
The voices. I like that. The voices of Shrewsbury. And also I do want to throw this out there to any other podcasters that listen to this. I do want to collaborate with other podcasters. There's Shrimp Talks. There's In the Stiffs. Jim Hawkins is doing a great podcast right now. There's so many amazing people making content. I feel like we can be so powerful and we can help each other so much if we work together and create like I love that because like, you know, when you have like panel shows on TV and you have other comedians all come on and they all kind of promote and help each other. They know each other.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that?
Yeah.
It'd be really good.
Yeah. Stronger together.
We're stronger together. And then there's the obvious live shows as well. I don't know how that would go, but I think like bringing on some guests and like the Walker Theatre and getting an audience to ask questions and things. That'd be really good.
Yeah. And things that we want to sort of throw into the dump, or we were trying to think of the name, weren't we? The Big Abyss, and the I don't know, something that we. But it can be. I
thought we could send it down the 7.
Okay, yeah. Send it down the 7.
Send it down the 7. So with Room 101. Did we say we were going to come up with things today? Can you think? Come up with something on the top of your head? I was definitely going to create like some music or something for it.
Yeah.
Send it down the 7. Da, da, da. Think Room 101. I used to play this before on You Suck Live and Inglorious Barstools. These are different podcasts I used to do. And the guys were very difficult to marshal. I mean, David Raby was just a law unto himself anyway. Like, so just try and settle him down. Like, David, did you bring your things? David, pay it. Like, we would like one thing that we love and one thing that we wanted to throw in. And then we discuss out of the 4 things that everybody bought, which one would go in out of those 4. So not everyone would go in, only one of them. So I think we've got to have a debate about it. I think maybe we can get people to bring in 2 or 3 things and we decide one of which. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But maybe it doesn't need to be all of them absolutely deadly serious, like really horrible thing that the rest fed up with. It could be like something funny.
I want to send in my ex, Darren, down the river because he's an idiot, all right? And that's it. Like, we're going to have none of that, no.
But it could be like a funny thing as well, maybe. Like perhaps a couple of serious ones and one that's a bit amusing.
Yeah, and then maybe one thing that you want to put on the on top of the column.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can get them people to vote which one is the ultimate thing.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be awesome.
Lots of really, really good ideas. I think we're going to do some amazing stuff. I mean, we're booking in guests. If I look at my schedule now, we've got up until the 20th of February. And then we've got March. We've got half of March done. We've got podcasts as far as April so far. Do you know what I mean? So we've got lots.
We're going to need to buy a new diary just for the podcast.
But, and this is a but that I did say I was going to throw into this podcast. There is a gap. There's a gap between on the 20th and the 27th, and I would like you, as a task and as a bit of homework, to find me 2 guests for those shows.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm on it already.
If we can, if there's any way we can do it in a way that I don't know who they are.
I've got so many in my mind already. Yeah.
So I need you to reach out.
Okay.
I need you to find out the people, organise a time, and find a venue.
I can do this.
Yeah? You can plan these 2. So that's the 20th and the 27th. And we'll get those guests in. I don't know who they are. And you're going to host those shows. completely. All right. So we've got some time, and I don't want to throw you too much in the deep end, but you've got a nice little because the episode before that, you and Sean Brennan Todd are going to quiz me on the biscuit. I'm going to be a guest on my own podcast. That's going to be so weird. So you get a bit of a practice, sort of co-hosting with Sean. That'd be really, really good.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
But I want to welcome you to the show. We got photos we're sending up with Andrew Woodall, and we're going to. I'm sorry, I'll do that bit again. I'll take that out. I'm setting up some photos with Andrew Griffin Woodall, who did those great shots of me at Sam Pooley Stride's Swan Hill, and he did the one of me on Greyfriars Bridge as well. An amazing photographer. But I wanted to sort of like bring you in properly. I want to change the artwork completely. This is going to be. I think we worked out on Alan Vicks, right? Alan Vicks.
Yeah.
Alex and Vicks.
Yeah.
I think that kind of rolls off the tongue a bit.
Yeah, sounds cool, doesn't it?
The Shrewsbury Biscuit with Alan Vicks. I can make all that sort of stuff. That was really cool. We should do that. Definitely do that. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll get some photos done. We'll change the artwork. This is a new era of the biscuit. I'm very excited.
I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. And if you guys got any suggestions, please write in to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. But yeah, this has been really, really good.
Thank you.
I can't wait. It's going to be really good, really, really exciting. The only issues we're going to have is obviously times and scheduling and stuff, but we can work that out. We're adults. I mean, life is life. I think the listeners, that's the best thing about a podcast is people understand. They, at the same time, they went, where's my podcast? They're kind of like, oh, but they're, family and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think also it's like we're going to be sort of on Facebook and that and Instagram a bit more, aren't we? And we're going to be sort of asking what the audience want to see and hear and listen, and getting their feedback and doing polls and things and getting interacting, saying what they want.
Yes, I'm going to get you signed up as an admin.
Yay.
And I'll just let you loose on that. You can do whatever you like, within reason. Don't be doing a Liam Tinsley. He's definitely never been an admin on my podcast. Yeah, you heard me right, Liam. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for wanting to be a part of this. And I promise you, we'll work the best way we can to make it our thing. Yeah. And to make something new. So what? Yeah, bro, cool. Well, listen, don't go anywhere, guys. We'll do a little bit of an outro where we can tell you where to contact and stuff. But thank you, Vicks.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Cheers. Right, so Vicks, it's been a week since we did our first episode. We've just recorded our second episode. How are you finding it so far? A week in. What are your thoughts on it all?
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm very nervous at first. Ate a few biscuits before coming on, just to calm the nerves. But getting into it, getting my teeth stuck into it literally now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I came to your house, we recorded that bit, and I think it was really nice that, you guys just heard this episode, that the nerves very quickly go away. Once you start having that conversation, the ball starts rolling, it gets a lot easier, right?
I think you help with that because, you got that calming effect.
My wife doesn't think so. She'd be like, oh, here he is. The bull in the china shop. Here he is again. No, I really appreciate it. And we've recorded next week's episode with Stuart Woodings. And I'm really encouraged by and enthused by your commitment to sort of researching the guests and bringing in some amazing questions. You did amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Really, really good. So
and I've still got my homework to finish, but
Yes. You got to do your homework. You heard on the episode that I set Vic some homework, so we want 2 interviews by the end of the month. And I want it on my desk by. Yeah.
What happens if I go into detention? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to come up with a punishment. I don't know. That sounds really bad.
It went well with Stuart though, didn't it? That was fabulous. What a guy.
What a great guy. You'll have to listen to that next week. Honestly, if this is your first time listening to Shrewsbury Biscuit, maybe come along because Vicks is here. I don't know, but next week's episode is going to grab you and grip you, and you're going to enjoy it because I think it's one of the brightest business minds in the county that we've just spoken to.
It's going to be epic.
It's going to be really, really good. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, as well, if this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, make sure you give us a follow. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You can also check out the website, which is lovingly made for us by Web Orchard. And the website is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. I know there's a few issues with the website at the moment. We'll get that sorted very quickly, but make sure you check it out. All of the content is available on there. And if you want to come on the podcast, we've got dates available from now up until June.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch, please reach out and message. There's just, yeah. And you could help me then with my homework because I've got to find 2 of you. So
Yeah.
message me.
Call me. Brilliant. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one with Stuart Woodings.
Thank you.